What's up? 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 It's another episode of Wasabi, Walnut, What's Hurting My Tummy Wednesday. And this is Low Tech Health. Let ourselves translate expert knowledge with Brad Burns. How are you guys today? Good. I'll tell you what might be hurting your belly. What's hurting your tummy today? Coughing. Tos. Tos. Muy tos. Tos. Fiebre. Sudores. Chills. I have a fever. And I'm coughing. So we're continuing this week on being together, togetherness. Gonna couch that and say try to avoid large crowds because coronavirus is getting worse. I know, I can't stop talking about it. And Friday is gonna be even nittier grittier details about this whole novel COVID-19 game because our Department of Health directors are telling us that it's 10 times more infectious and deadly than the flu. Well, actually, it's more than 20 to 30 times as deadly as the flu. 10 times more infectious. These are all kind of out there numbers because we haven't finished it. We're still finding out. And it's getting really bad in Italy. Talked about how they've shut the country down, and hearing about Milan having to decide who's going to live or die, which is awful. And some of their advice is don't hang out with people who work in hospitals. So yeah, stay away from people like me because we're incubating and they've stopped testing workers who are working with coronavirus patients because they're certain that they have it. And unless they have an intense cough or a fever, they're not tested and they're not quarantined because who's going to take care of these sick people? A lot of the sicker patients are in the ICU, and we can't just pull people from clinic jobs to teach them immediately how to treat ICU patients. They don't know what to do. They don't know what's serious, what the most important thing is, because you can get into the weeds really quickly with these airway and breathing diseases. And I've been obsessed about washing your hands. Yesterday was almost exclusively about how to wash your hands and how soap works. But with this being more droplet and airborne, you better cover your cough. You better learn to cover your cough. And I swear, I see videos over and over of people being dick heads and coughing in each other's faces. Not hard, but just kind of like a dickish move, like not covering their face in subways. Just older people thinking they're being funny, thinking they're being tough. Some little middle school bully. Why are you doing this? You need to think about what you're doing and the understanding of how this is kind of a serious issue and take it more to heart. Being together isn't about bringing everybody down because that's what you're doing. Coughing in somebody's face, being a little bit of a dickhead. Just don't, just don't do it because you would want somebody to do that to you. And if you do want somebody to do that to you, well, you need to go into your quiet place and figure out why you're acting in such a dishumorous way. This is not joyful, and it's sad. It's sad when you act like this and cough in people's face. Oh yeah, we've been told we have to keep working. Not me personally, but I haven't gone back to work since I've had a little bit of a vacation. And I'm interested to see how the hospital is responding because we're not well prepared for this. We're used to ordering something coming in the next day, especially these N95 respirator masks. They talk about covering up with surgical masks. I use these, but with surgical masks, you have little spaces on the sides. This is pretty nice because it doesn't have spaces on the side, but it is permeable, so it can just trap it and stick in it. But it helps me from spreading it to other people, and it can possibly help me prevent it from coming in. But you got to change these out. You got to wash them often because you're gonna catch it. You're gonna catch the coronavirus if you're 3 to 6 feet from somebody who has it. The first 4 days they're finding before you're even showing signs of infection, the viral load is the highest. So it's back when AIDS came out, when we were learning more about AIDS and having multiple partners. You're having sex not only with that partner, but with every partner they've had sex with, which with this corona, it's like trying to stop the wind. You're breathing everyone that they've breathed in the last 4 to 3 weeks. 4 days to 3 weeks, which is unfathomable. This is going to continue to just to snowball. We are in for quite a spell. So yes, it's important. Wash your hands, and you want to make sure that you stay healthy. You drink water. If you do catch it, put yourself in a little box and don't go spreading it. Like some of the people we're seeing on Facebook saying, "Yeah, I went to Italy, and I'm not gonna stay in my room." They were literally told by their college's administration to stay in your room. Basically, like a parent telling their kid, "Go to your room," and then they didn't do it. And because they didn't go to their room, everybody has to go to their room now. Everybody has to stay in their room and play with their toys alone by themselves because they got sick and everybody's sick. Whew. And don't overeat. Don't eat a bunch of Hostess shit. Hostess is coming out into their PR platform saying they're there for comfort. You're there to fuck shit up. Your sugar and your salt products are just sucking the moisture out of the body in a place and a time that it needs to continue to flow, flush out the lymphatic system. Do not eat a bunch of sugar and shit because you're just gonna shut your roads down. You've been in traffic. That's what you're doing to your body when it's trying to heal and you're eating candy. Don't eat fucking candy when your body's trying to heal. Try to hold back on the coffee, dramatically cut back on the alcohol because again, those are just dehydrating your body. They're just shucking up the sweet nectar of blood flow. So do your best to stay hydrated. Yes, wash your hands, but more importantly, cover your cough. Don't be a dickhead. I've started rating people's coughs on a 0 to 10, how well they're covering. Like 0 is no attempt, 1 is like maybe you aimed it downwards, and 10 is you covered it, put this under here, you went into a little turtle zone, you covered your cough. 10, be awesome. If we could get people to maybe use social media to judge this and have different ratings, I don't know. Maybe this would be a thing we could avoid in the future. Because I think this is happening because we're nasty and we're not bringing each other up. We're pulling each other down. So do your best, cover your cough, be nice to each other in a biological sense, not just talking nice and thinking nice, but act nice. Cover your cough. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in 2 days. Forgive my foul mouth Friday, getting into nittier grittier details about this wonderful novel COVID-19 and how we can stick together. Sickness and in health. Love you guys.